Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another video. So in this video we do have some pretty fun Nintendo Switch news to talk about. To Animal Crossing, to Luigi's Mansion, we also have some Metroid Prime stuff, the Legend of Zelda movie. So pretty good amount of Nintendo Switch 2 news and news for the movies as well. So let's start with the Legend of Zelda movie. So the Legend of Zelda movie is something I'm personally very excited for, and one thing I always wondered is when we're gonna get a look at the movie, when are we gonna see set photos, maybe even a trailer? Because I really do want to see what they're doing with this movie, because there is going to have to be a certain direction they're going to have to take to make the movie a success and to make a good Legend of Zelda movie, just like Super Mario, because it's live action. So we're going to have to see what kind of direction they're taking, and there's going to be a certain line that they're going to have to tiptoe across and not go too far, because you go too far in one direction and it's just not Legend of Zelda, or they make a bad Legend of Zelda movie. And we might actually be getting a look on that very soon when it comes to set photos. And of course, when you're shooting the movie, that means you're going to have stuff to film, which means you're going to have that footage for a trailer, so we might get a trailer within the next couple months as well. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, it seems the Legend of Zelda feature film is going to be shooting from November 4th, 2025 to April 7th, 2026, and the location is actually very interesting, Wellington, New Zealand. So we should be getting either a trailer or maybe some kind of photo that they're going to set up where we get a good look at Link and Zelda and other characters as well. So I'm very excited for this. I honestly can't wait to get that first trailer. Now, as to when we could see that first trailer, we know that Nintendo usually does a February Nintendo Direct, and Nintendo has also been doing things between the big Nintendo Directs, like Nintendo Direct specifically for certain things, whether it be a game or a movie. The Super Mario Bros. Movie had its own Direct for the first trailer, so that could also happen for the Legend of Zelda. Not only that, but remember, the Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary is also in February as well, and that's when we usually do get a Nintendo Direct, the big Nintendo Direct that they hold a couple times a year. So I think it's going to be similar to how they held the 40th anniversary for Mario. I think they're going to combine that in that February Nintendo Direct for the Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary, and we might get that first trailer, because that's actually quite a long time to be shooting different scenes, and I feel like that would give them enough to get a trailer out by then. But yeah, let me know what you want to see in the Legend of Zelda movie. Like, what are your wants, what you don't want? Do you want Link to talk? I think that's one of the bigger topics. It's kind of like with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, should Mario talk? Honestly, in my personal opinion, that worked out for Mario. Not sure if it's gonna work out for the Legend of Zelda, but I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll be like a silent protagonist. I don't know, I guess we'll see. And moving on to the Animal Crossing New Horizon news. So we recently got news that there's gonna be a huge update that's gonna be hitting Animal Crossing New Horizon, and not only that, but a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And since then, this is probably gonna get a lot of people interested in Animal Crossing New Horizon, and of course people who maybe sold it, or maybe they don't have it. Obviously, more people are gonna be buying it because they're having that Nintendo Switch 2 edition, especially if they didn't have a Nintendo Switch 1 before and they bought the Nintendo Switch 2. So since then, apparently according to South 40K, he had this to say: the announcement of the 3.0 update has caused Animal Crossing New Horizon to shoot back up to the top of the Switch US best-selling list. Now remember, Animal Crossing New Horizon was a huge game. A lot of people bought Animal Crossing New Horizon. It was released during the pandemic when everyone was inside, so a lot of people bought that, and it became one of the best-selling Nintendo Switch games of all time, if I remember correctly. I know it did do some insane sales, so the fact that it's jumping up to the top of the eShop is actually really surprising, especially around the time when Pokemon Legends ZA and the Mario Pack released. Now, I myself, just speaking on what my current situation is, whenever I do have enough money to buy Animal Crossing New Horizon again, because I sold it to buy the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I definitely will be picking that up, because there's the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, they're adding stuff, and I've been meaning to do it anyways, so now, for me anyways, is the perfect time. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Is anybody else actually gonna pick up Animal Crossing New Horizon? Let me know in the comment section below, because I definitely am interested to see how many people haven't bought it, or maybe they just sold it to buy another game, or maybe they just don't have it. And moving on to some Luigi's Mansion, I thought this was actually pretty interesting. I came across it on Twitter. Steven Schultz over on Twitter says, at 14 million plus, it's about to have outsold every single Resident Evil game without ever having a massive price drop. That's 14 plus million at near full retail all the way, unlike Resident Evil, which frequently has massive discounts to boost its sales numbers. And that's really kind of crazy, because when you think of Luigi's Mansion, it's not the biggest Nintendo IP, but I think it is quite the size of an IP for Nintendo, and the fact that it almost outsold, or has outsold, I mean, all of the Resident Evil games is pretty crazy. Now, if I remember correctly, there were some rumors rumors about Luigi's Mansion 4 going around. I saw something about that going around. I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments comment section below if there are rumors. I could have sworn I saw something about that, but even if there weren't rumors, I definitely expect Nintendo to bring Luigi's Mansion 4 to the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch. It's just one of those things that make a lot of sense, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. And keeping up with the Animal Crossing news, there is some additional information that you may have missed or may not even know because they didn't mention it in the trailer for the Animal Crossing New Horizon update. So Chase_247_ says this on Twitter. Nintendo just casually not mentioning in the trailer that you can now craft with items directly from your storage. So this is what the post that the person posted. The free update is available to all Animal Crossing New Horizon players and includes a few more additions to make crafting items and managing your island a little easier. You can now craft items in batches, pulling materials directly from your storage, and if you're looking to change things up and get rid of the unwanted decorations quickly, look no further than Resetti's reset service. So that is a bit of information that I did not know and didn't cover in the initial video, so I'm going to put that in this video for people who may have missed it because they didn't mention that in the trailer. And moving on to some Metroid Prime news, so there are some pretty interesting pre-order bonuses and there is some unfortunate news, especially if you're in the US. So this is what they say over on Twitter. NecroPhilip over on Twitter. Nintendo Korea, pre-order bonus for Metroid Prime 4 bonuses have been announced for the country. Wide mouse pad, which I do want to talk about that in a bit, 500 piece puzzle wall scroll via Nintendo Patents Watch. And yeah, this really sucks because a lot of times there will be really great pre-order things for different games, different editions, and a lot of times the great stuff just doesn't hit the US. Sometimes it's just Japan only. This time it seems that it's Korea only. And the fact that they have mouse pads, it really got me thinking, like, what other games could receive mouse pads as pre-order bonuses, or just like separate things that Nintendo can sell for those games, especially for games that do use mouse pads. It never really occurred to me until I saw this that, you know what, mouse pads would be extremely useful now, even if you don't have a computer. And moving on to the next topic, it's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. So apparently it's #1 on the eShop according to Stealth40k. This is what he said on Twitter. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is #1 on the US Switch 2 shop. There's a lot of competition on Switch 2 at the moment, so games are jumping all over the charts. And of course, earlier in this video, we did cover Animal Crossing New Horizon jumping up to #1 as well. I actually already pre-ordered that from Gamefly, so that should be coming, and we should be streaming that on launch day. If it does come in the mail, I would assume it comes in, but I don't know how Gamefly's shipping process. Do they ship it out on the day, or do they ship it out before so it comes to your house on the day of release? I'll have to wait and see. But to be honest, if it doesn't come to the house on the day of release, I will never pre-order something from Gamefly again, that's for sure. And the last bit of news we have is for Resident Evil Requiem Switch 2 box art. So that has been revealed, and there's some additional information we now know, confirmed according to Genki_Japan, says Resident Evil Requiem Switch 2 box art confirmed to be a game keycard. And this is something I think shouldn't be a surprise for a lot of people, because a lot of these Capcom games are going to end up being game keycards, the ones that are bigger, the ones that are third party. We're seeing this a lot on a lot of different games, and I think it's not going to get any better going forward. So this may disappoint some people. Let me know if you're disappointed about this in the comment section below. From what we've seen from the gameplay from this game, it seems to look pretty good and running pretty well on the Nintendo Switch 2. So I guess we'll see on release. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all the topics in the comment section below. And of course, if you guys do want to stick around and want more Nintendo Switch news, leaks, rumors, that kind of thing, and other videos too, like reviews, leaving the like and the hype points really do go a long way. And of course, your comments too, whichever one you choose, maybe all three, really helps the video and the channel stay alive and keeps me bringing content to you guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.